few people worry about the liver until a blood test shows an abnormal result. The liver is one of the most important organs in the body. It cleans the blood, stores energy, aids in digestion, regulates hormones, and neutralizes toxins. When the liver is overwhelmed, symptoms are not always clear at first. But over time, fatigue, indigestion, yellowish skin, and even serious diseases like cirrhosis or cancer appear. Much of this is directly related to what you put on your plate every day. The problem is that many common foods may seem harmless, but are among the biggest enemies of the liver. Today, I will show the main foods that are prohibited for liver health. You will understand why they are harmful and how to replace them. Stay with me until the end, because prevention is the best way to protect the liver and avoid serious problems in the future. Let's start with alcohol. Alcohol is the #1 enemy of the liver. There is no safe dose for those who already have fatty liver, hepatitis, or some degree of inflammation. The liver needs to convert alcohol into less toxic substances, but in this process, it generates even more free radicals and inflammation. Over time, this leads to steatosis, which is the accumulation of fat in the liver, followed by fibrosis, cirrhosis, and even cancer. The problem is progressive. Even those who drink socially are at risk if they are overweight, have high cholesterol, or altered glucose levels. Replacing alcohol with sparkling water, unsweetened iced teas, or natural juices without excess is a much safer choice. A major villain is soft drinks and sweetened beverages. They do not contain alcohol, but they overload the liver in another way. The excess fructose from artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup is converted into fat within the liver. This fat accumulates and can cause the so-called fatty liver disease, known as hepatic steatosis. Additionally, these drinks increase the risk of insulin resistance, diabetes, and obesity, which also harm the liver. Always prefer water, lemon water, or natural teas. Ultra-processed foods are another dangerous group. Filled cookies, snacks, ready-made frozen meals, and fast food are full of bad fats, excess salt, colorings, and preservatives. The liver needs to metabolize all of this and ends up becoming overloaded. Additionally, these foods promote inflammation, weight gain, and fat accumulation in the liver. A simple switch is to prefer fresh foods prepared at home with natural ingredients. Fried foods are among the biggest enemies of the liver. Oil used at high temperatures undergoes chemical changes, forming toxic substances that the liver needs to process. Furthermore, they are very calorie-dense and promote increased body fat and liver fat. It's not just French fries. Pastries, savory snacks, fried chicken, and any food repeatedly dipped in used oil pose a risk. Replacing them with baked, grilled, or air fryer preparations already helps a lot to reduce this impact. Another important point is processed meats. Sausages, hot dogs, bacon, ham, and salami contain a lot of salt, preservatives like nitrites and nitrates, as well as excess saturated fat. These elements increase blood pressure, overload the liver, and elevate the long-term risk of liver cancer. It is better to prioritize fresh meats, chicken, fish, and lean cuts of beef prepared simply. We must not forget excess sugar. Cakes, sweets, candies, chocolates, and desserts seem harmless in small quantities, but when they become a daily habit, they destroy liver health. Excess sugar turns into fat in the liver, increases inflammation, and promotes insulin resistance. This combination is one of the main causes of the so-called metabolic syndrome, which includes fat in the liver, high cholesterol, diabetes, and increased cardiovascular risk. Reducing sugar and using natural fruits as a sweetener is a crucial step. Another dangerous food is white flooring gel products made with wheat breais, pastas cookies, and pizzas made with refined fructose bland glucose peaks. This requires deliver to work harder and overtime promotes the accumulation of fat liver. Prefer whole grain flours, oats, or other options with more fiber, which reduce the impact on glucose and help protect the liver. Very salty foods should also be avoided. Excess salt retains fluids, raises blood pressure, and forces the liver to deal with this imbalance. This is even more serious for those who already have some degree of liver disease, because it can lead to ascites, which is the accumulation of fluid in the abdomen. Using natural seasonings like garlic, onion, herbs, and spices is a healthy way to reduce salt and also add more flavor to the food. Now let's talk about supplements without guidance. Many people use supplements thinking they are always safe. But excessive some vitamins, like synthetic vitamin A, can intoxicate the liver. The same applies to very high doses of iron in people who do not have a proven deficiency. Therefore, never use supplements without medical supervision. The liver is the organ that metabolizes almost everything you ingest, and excesses can cause serious damage. An additional villain is excess refined vegetable oils, such as soybean, corn, and canola oil. They are rich in inflammatory fats and are widely used by the food industry. When consumed in excess, they disrupt the balance between good and bad fats in the body and increase liver inflammation. The best approach is to minimize these oils and prefer extra virgin olive oil in small quantities. A detail that many people do not know is that even some common medications can affect the liver. Excessive use of painkillers, anti-inflammatory drugs, and even teas can cause liver poisoning. Of course, no one should stop medication without guidance, but it is essential to use medicines carefully and always respect the doses. In summary, the main foods and drinks prohibited for the liver are alcohol, sodas, ultra-processed foods, fried foods, processed meats, sugar, white flour, excess salt, refined vegetable oils, and supplements without guidance. The more you avoid these foods, the more protected your liver will be. The good news is that the liver has a huge capacity for regeneration. When you change your habits and remove the aggressors, it can recover in a few weeks or months, depending on the extent of damage. Replace them with fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds. Drink water, exercise, and get good sleep. These simple choices will keep your liver clean and functioning well. If you've made it this far, you've already understood that the secret lies in information and attitude. What you eat and drink every day can be poison or protection for the liver. The choice is yours. I am Eddie Rodriguez, and this is the EDU Health Tips channel. If this content helped you, share it with your friends and family. Leave your comment below telling us if you've ever had a liver issue or know someone who has. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos. See you next time.